Ladies and gentlemen, I am Broken Matt Hardy. This is JD from New York. Actually, delete to JD from New York. I am Cletus Vessel. Make sure to check out his wonderful show, Off the Script. It's absolutely delightful.
What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel this afternoon. It is Monday, November 13th, 2017, and this right here is the #1 professional wrestling podcast right here on YouTube.com. This is Off the Script, episode 195, part number 3. Yes, I did not stutter. It is part number 3. It is Monday. Usually part 3 is up on Sunday. Went to bed last night, man. I felt like shit all day yesterday. Eyes heavy, eyes puffy. I just did not feel good at all. I go to sleep last night around 2 o'clock. I stayed up. I stayed up and I watched this Jennifer Love Hewitt movie called Can't Hardly Wait. And I'm flipping through my guide on Verizon. I got Fios. And I don't know what I'm going to do with Lucha Underground. Apparently, Lucha Underground is coming back for Season 4. And Fios actually got rid of the Lucha Underground channel, man. They got rid of fucking El Rey. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how I'm going to watch Lucha Underground. So we'll see what happens with that. Apparently, filming is going to begin in early 2018. We might not see it until spring, summer of 2018 is what I am guessing. But that's going to suck. But anyway, I'm flipping through my guide, and I see this movie on Showtime, Can't Hardly Wait. And I see Jennifer Love Hewitt's in it. And I'm like, ooh. So let me watch this. And I stayed up. It's some teen movie in the vein of American Pie. You know, there's a big party going on. And, you know, a lot of drinking and a lot of, sexual activity and this and that. You know, a teen high school comedy. And then the main story revolves around this fucking geek who apparently loves Jennifer Love Hewitt's character, Amanda, in the movie, and he writes her this love letter that he's held onto for 4 years. Finally has the courage to give it to her. She finds it just laying around randomly at the party. She reads it. She's looking for the guy. She runs into him, not knowing who she is. She just fucking verbally berates the shit out of him. He's on his way to college somewhere. He's about to hop on a train, and then they end up falling in love. It's entertaining at best, but I merely just watched it because Jennifer Love Hewitt was in it. But that was my night. But I'm laying there, and I have fucking chills like you wouldn't believe. I have like 3 blankets on me. I got the heat turned up to 75 in my apartment. I'm freezing my balls off. The weather in New York City went from one extreme to the next. It's cold. It's rainy. I know I'm getting sick. I feel okay now because I've been injecting myself with vitamin C for the last 2 hours. I hope that works. I went to Walgreens, and got me some Emergen-C for the week. And I'm just going to take the natural approach. I don't like really filling my body with medicine and this and that. If I'm really, really bad, I'll do some Alka-Seltzer or some Mucinex PM and help me fall asleep or shit like that. But nothing up, sinus-wise. I'm not congested. I just feel very achy. I'm in pain. I don't know what from, but we're gonna try and get through this, man. I got flu-like symptoms, but we're gonna try and get through this episode of Off the Script, part 3 for today, Monday, November 13th, 2017, right before Monday Night Raw. We got news on Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho apparently is still contracted to the WWE. I also got news on the 205 Live roster and why the UK division appeared on 205 Live. What a disgrace that was, huh? Having Tyler Bate lose to Enzo Amore. Now, I watched that because I enjoy the UK division. And it was very painful to sit through because you've seen Tyler Bate dumb down his offense, and you've seen Tyler Bate dumb down his repertoire to showcase that Enzo could actually wrestle. And it's pathetic to even see that. I don't know where 205 Live is going. We're going to talk about that as well. WWE really wants to turn the tide on 205 Live and make it into something serious. Enzo needs to be removed from his spot as Cruiserweight Champion. So we'll talk about that today on why the UK division appeared on 205 Live. Speaking of 205 Live, Hideo Itami more than likely going to 205 Live. And in my honest opinion, more than likely leaving the WWE, because I know if I'm Hideo Itami, that is the ceiling for Hideo Itami in the WWE. And if that is my ceiling, I'm going back to Japan. That's what I'm doing. We'll talk about that today as well. How did Vince McMahon reportedly feel about Chris Jericho competing at Wrestle Kingdom 12? We'll talk about that. Bryan apparently likes the idea of wrestling at Wrestle Kingdom 13. Wrestle Kingdom 12 is coming up on January 4th. We'll talk about that. But Bryan likes the idea of wrestling at Wrestle Kingdom 13 in 2019. New Japan announces their next United States show called Strong Style Evolved. I got news on that. Cody Rhodes versus Kota Ibushi has been made official for Wrestle Kingdom 12 as well. We're going to go over all that. Plus, I have news on the title matches at Clash of Champions 2017. I also got news on the title matches that are going to be taking place on Raw after Survivor Series. Very difficult to get excited about what is happening on both brands. And after reading both articles on Clash of the Champions for SmackDown and then where the titles go after Survivor Series on Monday Night Raw, there is definitely little excitement for WWE following the Survivor Series. So we're going to go over all that today on Off the Script. I want to thank everybody for your love and support, man. There was several videos uploaded this weekend. Obviously, Off the Scripts Part 1 and 2. Make sure you guys go and check that stuff out. In Part 2, we talked about AJ Styles and his win over the failure known as Jinder Mahal. Did Paul Heyman have something to do with AJ Styles' title win over Jinder Mahal? So make sure you guys go and check that out. On Part 1, we talk about the Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens incident where they were sent home from SmackDown's European tour. So go check that out. Also, Off the Script Extra was uploaded on Sunday. I didn't give you guys a Off the Script Part 3, but I did give you an extra. I even said in that video I really wasn't feeling well. And here I am today, barely able to get through this show. But I did do an extra. Paige apparently is set to make a major return on Raw tonight. Will we see Paige make her return to the women's division on Monday Night Raw? Apparently tonight, Bayley, Dana Botch, and Mickie James will be competing in a triple threat match to find out who is the last spot on the Raw women's team for Survivor Series. Apparently, Paige is going to be included in that, making it a fatal four-way. Paige supposed to win it tonight, and then obviously that will go to show you what WWE and Monday Night Raw thinks of Bayley. How the mighty have fallen for Bayley. My God. I said this in the video, there is somebody on Monday Night Raw, there is somebody in WWE that just does not like Bayley. Now, I understand that NXT and WWE have vastly different audiences, but the fact that you took Bayley and you were booking her so perfectly in NXT, and that booking should have been implemented on the main roster, and now look at Bayley, where she's not even going to be on Survivor Series if the rumors are true about Paige making her return tonight in Atlanta for Monday Night Raw. I mean, what is going on with this woman? I mean, she was the female John Cena down in NXT. Everybody was so hyped on Bayley. Everybody had so many aspirations for Bayley. Now we're talking about Bayley not even being on Survivor Series. I don't know what they got to do with her, man. The one thing that I mentioned about Bayley is you got to turn her not heel, but you got to give her some aggression. She had aggression in NXT. She has no aggression on Monday Night Raw. She's just a fucking pushover. She is cringe. Her promos are garbage. And she's seemingly riding the coattails of Sasha Banks. She's not even kind of breaking away and just showing the world who Bayley is. It's like she's just there. And like I said, if Paige is given the Survivor Series spot, just goes to show you how Paige, coming back after almost 2 years off television, with Bayley there, it goes to show you how Bayley is just fucking looked at on Monday Night Raw. It's fucking pathetic. It's sad. It's downright sad. So we go over all that, and apparently Paige has broken up with Alberto El Retard. That's in the news as well, so make sure you guys go and check that out. Paige set to make her major return on Raw tonight. If the rumors are true, Mike Johnson of PW Insider has been reporting that, so go check that video out as well. Also, some Call of Duty live streams are on the channel. Mario Kart's up for my Patreons. World War II. I got 2 live streams. I got episode 1 and episode 2 of Road to Prestige Master, so make sure you guys go and check that stuff out. As soon as I finish this and as soon as this goes live, I should be streaming on Twitch. I'll leave something down in the comment section so you guys can make your way over there and hang out with me for about an hour or so. So I know today is the last day for double XP for World War II. I want to get in on that and get to my second prestige. But please follow me on Twitter at JDFROMNY206. I greatly appreciate it. We are, I think, at 20,000 followers. I'm not really sure yet. But follow me on Twitter at JDFROMNY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. We are almost 300 away from 85,000 subscribers. So do that. Make sure you guys turn on the bell for all notifications. Today's podcast is being brought to you by the fine members of Team JD over at Patreon.com. Thank you guys so very much for your support all month. You guys are absolutely fucking beast. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. If you guys want to get in on that and support the show monthly, you guys are showing your support as only you can for November. Make sure you guys get in on that, man. Mario Kart was absolutely fucking beast on this week's upload, man. The blue shell was just ridiculous on Mario Kart. So if you guys enjoy my rage, whether it's Call of Duty or Mario Kart, I think you will enjoy that. So make sure you guys go and check that out. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. I want to thank Chris Wilson. I want to thank Richard Dodds. I want to thank Kieran Smith. I want to thank Sage Mode 29. I want to thank Jesse Robles. I want to thank Jonathan Robert Spalding. I want to thank, who else we got here, man? And that's it. That's this week. Thank you guys so much. Awesome of you guys to just come out and support via the Patreon page, patreon.com/JD from NY206. Let's get into the news, man. I want to start off with this. Obviously, it's in the thumbnail. Obviously, it's the top story today on the podcast. Vince McMahon, how did he feel about Chris Jericho competing at Wrestle Kingdom 12, man? And I feel I got fucking chills just doing this shit, man. I'm just really, I'm cold. I don't know what the hell's going on with me, but we'll see what happens if we get through this in one piece. Vince McMahon reportedly, how did he feel about Chris Jericho competing at Wrestle Kingdom 12? As previously reported, Chris Jericho originally asked NXT superstars to compete during his scheduled Rock and Roll Rager at Sea cruise, the Cruise of Jericho, scheduled for October 27th through the 31st in 2018. His request was denied, which led him to contacting Ring of Honor talent. Weeks of Twitter exchanges from him and IWGP United States Heavyweight Champion Kenny Omega now has led to a match at Wrestle Kingdom 12 inside the Tokyo Dome on January 4th. Regarding how Vince McMahon felt about Jericho competing for New Japan, PW Insider reports that the feeling in WWE is that he did not even bat an eye about the decision, and Triple H is most likely the one affected by the scheduled Wrestle Kingdom 12 match. Kenny Omega did have some choice words to say during a press conference following the Blockbuster announcement that he will be competing against Chris Jericho at the Wrestle Kingdom 12 event inside the Tokyo Dome following his match at Power Struggle against Beretta, in which he successfully defended the IWGP United States Championship. Omega cut a promo to celebrate his accomplishment. Suddenly the lights go out, the countdown hits, and Jericho appears on the jumbo screen to challenge Omega to a match. During the press conference, Omega was asked whether he would want WWE to watch his upcoming match with Jericho in hopes for a future spot in the company. He then responded with this bold statement. And before I read this, Kenny Omega's comment here that I'm about to read is very reminiscent of how I feel about myself and this show compared to everybody else doing the same thing in the YWC. I quote, "No. WWE in general, you can quote me on this, I don't care. Everyone there is below me. No one can put together a performance better than me from there. Anyone that is copying anyone is copying me." End quote. It's exactly how I feel about this show compared to everything else in the YWC. Everyone is below me. And if you don't realize that, you better. Is Omega wrong there? No, he's not wrong. I mean, the guy's speaking the truth. There's nothing to rag on him about. If I'm in WWE and I hear Kenny Omega say that, I'm actually going to agree with him. There's nobody in WWE that can do what Kenny Omega's doing right now. In the ring. Maybe AJ Styles. He's the closest one. Possibly a Seth Rollins. Maybe. But I take the edge to Kenny Omega there. Omega then went on to say that he is the trend now, and that he does not need to search anyone as an opponent. He also stated that he does not need to compete against anyone from WWE to prove a thing, as he has accomplished a great amount of success while competing with New Japan Pro Wrestling. For those of you that asked about Chris Jericho's status and the rumors about Vince McMahon being blindsided, here is an update to shoot some of the rumors down. Vince McMahon went to Twitter, and as you guys see there on the screen, Vince McMahon actually tweeted Chris Jericho, "Happy birthday to the curator of the list of Jericho," and he tagged Jericho wishing him a happy birthday. So obviously, if McMahon was upset with Jericho in any way, the professional thing to do would be to wish the man a happy birthday after all he's given you. But if there's any animosity there, clearly there would have been some type of frustration. There might not have even been a tweet at all. McMahon wished Jericho a happy birthday on Thursday. Also, Tokyo Sports got a quote from a WWE analyst that says, although Jericho is not full-time, he still has a deal with WWE. So, of course, Vince McMahon, president of the WWE, CEO of the WWE, of course, Vince McMahon is going to give permission for this entry. This was a translation from Tokyo Sports. The WWE deal might be some sort of Legends deal or appearance contract. Whatever it is clear that Jericho did not blindside WWE, as some have claimed. I said this last week when we talked about it on part 3 of Off the Script, when the news broke on Sunday morning, mere hours after the event. I broke this news and I gave you my opinion on this topic, and I said exactly this. I would be shocked if Jericho did not ask Vince McMahon to wrestle for New Japan Pro Wrestling at Wrestle Kingdom 12. I would be shocked if he didn't ask Vince McMahon to go to a rival company. I don't consider New Japan a rival, but they are an alternative for WWE programming, to go wrestle Kenny Omega at their biggest event of the year. I would be shocked. The amount of people that asked me, how could you think that, JD? Jericho could do what he wants. He's not there to scout talent. He's not there to do anything else but put on a show for the fans. He does what he wants. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you Jericho's fucking road agent? Are you his lawyer? Are you his manager? Do you curate the list of Jericho? When Jericho gives you orders, do you write it on the list for him? Are you his secretary? How the fuck do you know what Jericho does? All I did was make a pretty basic statement as far as respect goes. Too many people try to cut me down and find the wrong in what I say instead of actually listening to me and having, some sort of engagement. They automatically want to cut me down and say that I'm wrong. I caught wind of some fucking idiot who calls up another fucking show and starts complaining about when I said that Big Cass couldn't be the one to attack Enzo Amore when they broke up, when all signs were indeed leading to Big Cass. That was week 1. Because I didn't believe that WWE would be fucking stupid to break up their most popular tag team. Then as the weeks went on, it was apparent that it was going to be Big Cass. So obviously we all knew it was going to be Big Cass. What I said was the fact that I don't think this is the right decision, and I've said that for weeks about Big Cass being broken up from Enzo Amore. Why would you break up tag teams when you have no tag teams in the division? People always want to cut me down. And then they want to know why they're benched. And they want to go cry to this fucking idiot. And then that fucking idiot, why I'm benched. Why? It doesn't matter why you're benched. You're a fucking idiot. If you are throwing shade or disrespect in any way on anything that I say, and you're trying to cut me down as some fucking idiot who doesn't know what he's talking about, that is grounds for a benching. Why do I block people who say Jinder Mahal is a great champion? Because that's not an opinion. That is not an opinion to me. That is sheer retardation. And I don't care who I upset. Fuck out of here, man. All I stated was that Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho, the match was happening because Vince McMahon allowed Jericho to go there. He asked permission. Vince McMahon is like a father to most of these people. Of course, Jericho has enough respect after everything that WWE has done for Jericho to ask him, listen, Vince, I'm going to go do this. I'll be back next year. We'll do something special next year. I have an opportunity at 47 years old to go wrestle the best wrestler in the world right now at the biggest show that New Japan puts on in front of 60 fucking thousand people for the IWGP United States Championship. This is something that I probably won't have happen ever again. I want to take advantage of this. Fine, do what you got to do. I'll see you next year, 2018. You got the Royal Rumble coming up. You got WrestleMania coming up. You got SummerSlam coming up. You know Jericho's going to be a part of something next year. So why wouldn't he ask Vince McMahon to go and do this? You know? Why would Jericho burn a bridge with WWE after they've been so lenient with him? 6 months here, 6 months on, 6 months off, allowing him to tour for Fozzy, allowing him talent on their roster every week for a goddamn fucking podcast. WWE just doesn't lend out talent for podcasts just to anybody. Jericho usually gets everyone first before everybody. It's usually him and Austin. Even Jim Ross who is employed by the WWE, by the way, doesn't even get current talent on his show. Hardly. Why would Jericho burn a bridge now and just risk everything that WWE has given him and will continue to give him? Does it make sense? You know, that people want to cut me down. Fuck out of here, man. Get over yourselves. You can't handle the fucking common sense that's coming from my mouth. Then don't fucking watch me. Don't listen to me. Tired of these people trying to always get one up on the content creator. There's a reason why you're sitting there watching me. Because I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Fuck out of here, man. Anyway, that is the news on that. Jericho apparently is still under contract with the WWE. Moving on here, man. Speaking of Wrestle Kingdom, Daniel Bryan, and I have news on Daniel Bryan here. I had it up and then all of a sudden I just clicked it off. Let me see if I have an article here that stated, yes, here we go. Daniel Bryan says that WWE would love to have me back, talks about trying to get cleared. Before I get into this Daniel Bryan news about Wrestle Kingdom 13. It's no secret that Daniel Bryan wants to return to the ring. Ever since he retired from WWE, he's been outspoken about his desire to return to the squared circle. Bryan was recently interviewed by the Trentonian in order to promote the upcoming episode of SmackDown Live at the Prudential Center. During the interview, he gave an update on him potentially returning to the ring. Bryan says that WWE would love to have him back, but it's a tricky situation based on the current culture surrounding concussions. He also says that he is currently trying to get cleared. I quote, I'm trying to get back as we speak. All my tests have come back fantastic, better than people who have never had any concussion type stuff, but it's a weird thing. We're in a weird situation politically with the climate around concussions right now. It's very difficult, especially with WWE still going on with ongoing lawsuits about concussions and just wrestlers coming out saying that WWE and the company was an unsafe work environment. So they still got that to deal with. They can't allow Bryan to wrestle when they have an ongoing lawsuit going on. That's just common logic. Continuing on what Bryan said, WWE would love to have me back, but it's a smart thing for me as a business. Is it a smart thing for me as a business to bring me back? If I was to come back and they let me back, they would get a lot of flack for it. They have a ton of stockholders that they're responsible for. It's more than just, is he healthy to do it? Bryan continued, there's more than that to the whole situation. All the concussion doctors think that I'm healthy enough to do it, and I should be able to do it. Well, I don't want to say all of them. I'm sure there's somebody out there who doesn't think that, but there's a lot more than goes into it than just that. It's the unfortunate situation with a giant corporation and big business here in the United States. Bryan's contract ends in 2018 September, so it will be interesting to see what happens with Daniel Bryan. I don't think he's going to be with WWE. WWE will never allow him back in their ring. He will either go to Ring of Honor or New Japan. So, speaking of New Japan, James McKenna on Pro Wrestling Sheet tweeted this: Dear at WWE Bryan, WK13, Wrestle Kingdom 13, Danielson versus Okada has a mighty good ring to it. Just saying. Daniel Bryan actually liked that tweet. I don't have the follow-up to what McKenna wrote here, but Daniel Bryan did like the tweet, and then McKenna tweeted out a picture of Daniel Bryan liking the tweet and says, "Oh, Bryan, I see you there, bud. I see you." So Daniel Bryan obviously is in agreement there with James McKenna about wrestling at Wrestle Kingdom 13. Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega really shocked the pro wrestling world when they revealed their plans to have a match at Wrestle Kingdom 12. It turns out the big match they were teasing won't be on a cruise ship after all. Then again, a match on Jericho's Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea between Cleaner and the Ayatollah of Rock and Rolla isn't out of the picture yet, but their match at Wrestle Kingdom 12 for the IWGP North American Heavyweight Championship, or the United States Championship, is going to be a big deal. Ryan Satin of Pro Wrestling Sheet reported Chris Jericho is actually a free agent and likely did all of the negotiation on his own. Obviously, that was put to rest. Jericho, from a WWE source, is under WWE deal, so Ryan Satin did not get that news correct. Jericho has been reportedly working on his big match since August. Jericho is financially responsible for his Rock and Wrestling cruise and says he wanted to get NXT talent for the cruise, but after months of talks, the deal fell through. However, Jericho decided to do the cruise anyway. The Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea needed a partner with a big promotion, so it looks like Jericho is turning to New Japan and Ring of Honor for the big party on open waters. Therefore, Jericho and Omega won't be happening at the cruise, but instead they moved it up to Wrestle Kingdom 12. It looks like the best way for WWE superstars to show up in New Japan is for them to simply leave WWE first. Everybody is pointing to Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan liked the tweet, like I said, from James McKenna from Pro Wrestling Sheet, covering Daniel Bryan's possible involvement in Wrestle Kingdom 13. So Daniel Bryan and what he's thinking right now gives you a good indication of where his mind is. And it looks like he's thinking about Bryan Danielson versus anyone right now at Wrestle Kingdom 13, just like the rest of us. Bryan will be wrestling. It won't be for WWE, but the idea of Daniel Bryan wrestling Kazuchika Okada at Wrestle Kingdom 13, you can even take my fucking money. You can even take my money. A lot of people have asked me, will I be covering New Japan Wrestle Kingdom 12? Yes, I will be subscribing to the network when we get closer to the event, and I will be watching it live as it happens. I will make the proper accommodations, and I will be doing what I have to do to review that. I'm not sure if I'm going to review the whole event yet, because there's obviously things I won't know, storylines that I won't know. All I have to go on is what I see live on the stream. But I will be covering the most important happenings at Wrestle Kingdom 13 for Wrestle Kingdom 12 rather. If it comes down to it, and Wrestle Kingdom 13 has Bryan versus Okada, you certainly damn well know that I'm going to cover that event. But yes, I will be watching Wrestle Kingdom 12 with Omega and Jericho, plus Kota Ibushi versus Cody Rhodes at Wrestle Kingdom 12. New Japan is going to pull out all the stops as they attempt to capture the world's attention and bring as many eyeballs to the product as possible. Of course, sales of their merchandise at Hot Topic stores would lead a lot of people to believe that New Japan Pro Wrestling has already made some huge headway in gaining more and more of the world's pro wrestling fan base with every passing day. But a new match is on the card, and it's going to be amazing. Cody Rhodes versus Kota Ibushi will take place at the Tokyo Dome on January 4th, and Cody's Ring of Honor Championship will be on the line. These two will undoubtedly put on a great performance at New Japan's biggest show of the year. Now we have 3 matches at the top of the card with Okada versus Naito, Jericho versus Omega, and Cody Rhodes versus Kota Ibushi. WrestleMania! New Japan is calling. They're looking to embarrass you this year for the biggest wrestling show of the year. Not that WWE gives a shit, because I'm sure WWE is going to sell and do what they got to do at WrestleMania. But comparing cards right now to what we see here, what's been announced, and what to expect for WrestleMania, and what's been rumored. Lesnar versus Reigns, and then Jinder Mahal versus John Cena for the WWE Championship. Which show would you rather watch? Doesn't take a fucking rocket scientist to figure that one out. I know which one I'd go with, and it ain't WWE. New Japan apparently has announced a new event next year in the United States. Strong Style Evolve. So much news has come out from Power Struggle, New Japan's last show. In addition to the news of Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes versus Kota Ibushi, the company has announced that they will run a 5,000-seat Walter Pyramid venue in Long Beach, California on March 25th, 2018 for an event called Strong Style Evolved. Their first event in the United States this year sold out on, I don't know when it was. I don't know. I think it took place in June. But it was at the Long Beach Convention Center just a few minutes away. So they clearly realized that they had to run a bigger venue to fulfill demand. Strong Style Evolved will take place just 2 weeks before WrestleMania. I do think that New Japan will be, or at least will have some presence in New Orleans for WrestleMania weekend. That should be exciting. Obviously, I will let you guys know what they got going on right here on the podcast. Hideo Itami looks like he's going to be called up to 205 Live. This is an imminent move about to happen any week now. NXT is a place where people learn. I'm thinking after TakeOver. NXT is a place where people learn how to be WWE superstars. It's an amazing pro wrestling graduate school. And Hideo Itami has been in NXT for a very long time. And if he hadn't suffered ill-timed injuries, he might have seen his main roster call up a long time ago. After all, he was in NXT before many people who have already been called up. He's flirted with the NXT title, but was never able to capture the gold. However, it looks like his time in WWE's developmental territory might be coming to an end, as the Wrestling Observer newsletter states that Hideo Itami's main roster debut is all but imminent. He'll be jumping over to 205 Live once he makes his debut on the bigger WWE stage, which is kind of disappointing considering how well he works with so many styles. But his fast-paced, hard-hitting offense would certainly do well in 205 Live and their environment of electric energy. Looks like WWE is going to be changing things up in a big way on 205 Live in the upcoming weeks, because Rockstar Spud is also set to debut for the exclusive show on the WWE Network as well. You know, 205 Live is in a funny spot, man. They're trying to push this Enzo initiative, and I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Yeah, Enzo has brought some. Not saying he's doing a great job. I'm going to sit here and say that Enzo has done some awareness for 205 Live. He's brought some awareness for 205 Live. He ain't resurrecting fucking the show from the depths that it was. He's not making me watch the show. I don't think WWE could do anything to get me to watch the show right now. But WWE, what they've done, and I haven't really heard anybody else talk about this, and this is the reason why I don't watch 205 Live, but I see what they're trying to do on Monday Night Raw, with Enzo being featured on Monday Night Raw. They're trying to, and I mentioned this on a few Raw reviews, they're trying to get it across that Enzo is a competent wrestler, when we know he's not. You're going to have Enzo come out. I watched 205 Live. I watched 205 Live for this UK invite, because I love the UK guys. You can have Enzo start this show with a 10 to 15 minute promo. People start to chant, "This is boring," after 10 minutes. I mean, that's not really what you want out of one of your best talkers on the roster. Then they put him in a match with Tyler Bate. And this was very difficult to watch. If you guys have not watched it yet, go back and watch NXT TakeOver Chicago. Tyler Bate versus Pete Dunne for the United Kingdom Championship. Still, WWE, all these months, has not had a match better, or has not showed a match on their programming better than what those two guys did all year on WWE programming. In fact, the match could have went 5 minutes more. That's how great it was. Everybody in that arena had so much energy, and they weren't going anywhere, man. Their eyes were lasered on the ring. They didn't move their eyes for the 15 minutes those guys were in the ring. We had that match happen, and then you look at Enzo Amore and Tyler Bate on 205 Live, and you see, an idiot can see this, how Tyler Bate had to dumb down his offense just to make sure Enzo looked good. Tyler Bate had to pretty much go easy on his repertoire to put over Enzo Amore. Now, I don't know whether to laugh or to cry based on that fact. How are you going to have Tyler Bate, someone who we know can fucking mop the floor with Enzo Amore, just lose clean on 205 Live to this goon? He lost to his finisher. Eat defeat. Are you fucking kidding me? Why are you pushing Enzo as this great wrestler? Or someone who can wrestle? I don't want to say they're pushing Enzo as a great wrestler, but they're pushing him as a competent wrestler, when we know he's not. But then on the other hand, you want to feature guys like Mark Andrews, Trent Seven, Wolfgang, Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate. You got guys like Cedric Alexander, Rich Swann, TJP, Brian Kendrick, Tony Nese, Jack Gallagher, all guys that can actually fucking wrestle in a serious tone. But then you want to have this show revolve around Enzo Amore. You do know that WWE is treading a very thin line here with 205 Live. They are treading a very thin line with 205 Live. At the top of their show, it's a joke. But yet you're trying to turn this show into a serious competitive program. And then when Hideo Itami comes, what's going to happen? When Almas, I'm hearing, is going to be called up. Because there really is nothing for Almas after NXT TakeOver. War Games. There's nothing for Almas on NXT anymore. I'm hearing Hideo Itami and Almas are going to be brought up. I don't know if Almas is going to 205 Live. I don't know if Almas is going to Raw or SmackDown. I don't know. But I heard he is on the list of call-ups after NXT TakeOver. Authors of Pain are on that list as well. But there's no reason for me to believe that Almas is going to Raw or SmackDown. Maybe with Zelina Vega, maybe. Because she is the act. But if WWE wants to put Almas, who's at 205 pounds, on 205 Live, that has a serious tone to it. Then what happens when Johnny Gargano is about to be brought up, or Tommaso Ciampa? That's a serious tone. And all these other small guys that you want to bring in. WWE doesn't realize that they're sacrificing what they have on 205 Live. What they have is like hidden away from everybody. They have the foundation for I can't miss this show every fucking week in 205 Live. 205 Live could be and I mentioned this, it could be the NXT for the main roster for WWE. There's no way you're going to have guys like that on that roster and not give me a serious program. But you're sacrificing everything that these guys are to push this as the Enzo show? So WWE is doing some serious damage with Enzo Amore as its Cruiserweight champion. How can anyone take this show? How can anyone take that championship and it just trickles down the line? How is anybody going to take these guys seriously when the guy that's representing them is a fucking joke? He's a clown who can't wrestle. This is the same thing that happened with SmackDown Live. The entire show was made worse because WWE sacrificed SmackDown Live to push the gender initiative. And what happened? SmackDown put on some of the worst television all year. Now they finally made the right choice and right decision by taking the title off of him and put it on someone who's legit, who people look at and say, I'm proud to have him as champion. Can't do that with Enzo Amore. Instead of actually pushing the fucking show with Enzo as his champion, why don't you push the show for the talent that you got? How many times do I have to tell you? There's no way you're going to take a Cedric Alexander and Cody Ibushi and put that match on a show and it's not going to get the division, the roster, the show, the company over. You put something like that on, people are going to want to see more. But they're sacrificing the entire show to have this guy lead 205 Live. That is a Terrible fucking business move. What's more important to you? A 205 live show that half of the fucking WWE universe doesn't even watch? More than that. Or actually respecting what these guys could potentially bring to the program. If I'm Hideo Itami and I see this shit, and I see why Neville walked out, I'm going to end up walking out too. Why was the UK division on 205 Live? I don't know. Is WWE in limbo about what they want to do? Are we getting a UK show? I don't know. I don't know. Will this lead to Team 205 Live versus Team UK at Survivor Series in an elimination match? Probably not. Survivor Series is stacked from top to bottom. I doubt that's even happening. If that was the case, it would have been announced already. Is WWE going to announce it 1 week before Survivor Series? Wouldn't be the first time they did it. But if it does happen, I would not mind seeing that. Because I enjoy the UK guys. I just don't see Pete Dunne working well with anybody. 205 Live and the WWE UK Championship division are merging. Again, just like I ranted on for the last 10 minutes. You better make it a serious fucking show then. It's been rumored for months that the UK division would be getting their own show on the WWE Network, but it still hasn't happened. WWE might have just said screw it and decided to merge the divisions. This would still lead Team UK versus Team 205 Live at Survivor Series. The UK division is getting their own show, and this is a way to showcase talent of the division to a wider audience. Maybe. Like I told you, I would not mind a UK division. I just don't think how much of a division it's really going to be if it's its own program. Maybe WWE is indeed merging the divisions. I don't know how many members of that roster are going to be available for a 1-hour show every week. It's very thin right now. You know? Who do they got? Pete Dunne, Mark Andrews, Tyler Bate, Wolfgang, Trent Seven, Jordan Devlin, right? And who I know I'm missing some. You know? Maybe 2 or 3, or maybe 2 more. I mean, that's not really enough for a full show every week. You're just better off making 205 Live with these guys and making it NXT light on the main roster. The amount of talent and the amount of matches that we could see is fucking unbelievable. Can you imagine Hideo Itami versus a Tyler Bate, or a Hideo Itami versus Pete Dunne, or a Almas versus a Pete Dunne? Almas versus Tyler Bate? Who the fuck would not want to watch that? Almas versus Cedric Alexander? Who wouldn't want to watch that? You want to get me to watch the fucking show, then put on some good wrestling. It all starts at the top. It was cost effective for WWE to not fly a lot of their cruiserweight division out and instead use some local talent from the UK division on the show. This would mean that this is only a 1-week thing and isn't leading to anything at all. Since the WWE United Kingdom Championship Tournament aired back in early 2017, fans have sporadically seen some of the talent appear on NXT. And during this time, the talent in the division were allowed to wrestle for other promotions like Progress as long as it didn't interfere when WWE actually needed them. It looks like that might be changing. Pete Dunne appeared on Raw to destroy Enzo Amore. Glenn Joseph of Progress tweeted out after the debut of Dunne on Raw saying that he was going to miss him. This tweet seems to be a hint at Dunne and the other UK division talent could be working with WWE full-time from now on, and this wasn't just a one-time thing since they were in the UK. So that is all my thoughts on the UK division. I know you guys agree with me on the UK division. If you're going to sacrifice the show for fucking making an Enzo show, that doesn't get across to me as must watch. It doesn't. You're sacrificing the show or the potential of the show to keep this guy as champion. I don't understand why. Why? So we'll see what happens with that. And I hope that WWE makes the appropriate changes to make this show worth fucking watching. I want to watch this talent, especially bringing up an Almas or Hideo Itami, maybe a Johnny Gargano later down the line. I love those guys. You ain't going to be doing anything with them on Monday Night Raw, SmackDown Live. What have they done with the guys that they already brought up from NXT? Nothing. WWE needs to get rid of that 205 weight limit as well. That's the one thing that's holding that division back. Get rid of the fucking weight limit. I'd love to see a Gargano on a Raw wrestling a Seth Rollins. Or Gargano on a Raw wrestling a Samoa Joe. You know? I don't want these guys stuck in one fucking bubble with nowhere to go. How would you feel being promoted and know that this is the end game for you? 205 Live is your end game. And when there's nothing for you, you can't go back down. You can't go anywhere else. You're done. They are handcuffing and they are suffocating their talent. How can 205 Live be an end game for anybody? That's terrible. It's like being sent out to fucking just die. It's like you're being just positioned for the death penalty. Awful. Absolutely awful. Social media segment brought to you by WrestleRumble.com. WrestleRumble.com having a Survivor Series weekend that you guys need to be a part of. Look at these prize lists, man. Wrestle Rumble is a questionnaire sent to everybody willing to participate. The most questions answered, and the one person who accumulates the most points correctly is going to win $500 cash and a mystery crate from WrestleCrate.com. Second, third place, $100. Fourth and fifth place, $50. War Games is even having to pick them. You're going to get 50 MVP points and a mystery crate from WrestleCrate.com. And down the line, you're going to get mystery points, or MVP points, rather. All the MVP points will be accumulated by the end of the year. The day after WrestleMania is when we will crown MVP for WrestleRumble.com. You will win $1,500 cash and a custom-made championship belt from LeatherByDan.com. WrestleRumble.com. Make sure you guys get in on the pick'em for Survivor Series weekend. Arslan asks, don't you think WWE can use Cena as a biggest heel and give him a role just like Triple H did in Evolution? No. John Cena is near the end of his career. If WWE wanted to do that, they would have done it already years ago. Cena will never turn heel. Our aspirations and our dreams and our fantasies of Cena turning heel are over and done with. Cena barely has any more time for WWE. They're going to use him to get as many dream matches out of him as possible, and then he's going to go on to do his thing in Hollywood. So Cena, I did hear, just being that the fact I listened to several different podcasts during the week, I did hear that a former writer, I think it was Kevin Eck, who mentioned that WWE did have Cena planned to turn heel. Like, Cena had new outfits, he had new theme music, ready to go for heel turn. This was I don't know, maybe 10 years ago? He had all that done, and he was getting ready to come out with a new clothing line for Kmart. Vince didn't know. Vince caught wind of the promotion that Kmart was doing for this new John Cena clothing line and nixed the entire heel turn for John Cena because of the John Cena clothing line for Kmart. Who the fuck shops at Kmart anymore, man? Kmart's going out of business. I heard Kmart's closing down. You know? Fuck out of here. So that was that, but no, John Cena is not turning heel. I would have loved to see John Cena turn heel. Just become the corporate fucking asshole. But those fantasies can only be relived in WWE 2K18. That is if you're still playing it. Ahmed Kira. What do you think of the trio of the Usos and Rusev? I can't get their picture out of my head. I love you so much. Your podcast is amazing. It's just the Usos and Rusev. It was a one-time thing. The WWE talent tend to have fun on house shows. They're a little bit more lenient on house shows. They have a little bit more freedom on house shows. It was nothing but Rusev and the Usos just clowning around. Because they are friends behind the curtain. That's all that was. I don't expect anything to come of it on television. I think this was asked already. Hello, JD. This is from HJ. I am a Patreon. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, HJ. HJ the Survivor on Twitter. I am a patron and was wanting your opinion on something. Do you think the UK title is going to be used as a mid-card title on NXT, given Dunn is moving to Raw and is being defended against Gargano? If this is the case, do you agree with this move by WWE? I think I answered this right. I'm not sure if I did or not. I'm fucking delirious right now. HJ, just to answer your question again, bro, let me go to the latest to see what we got here. I think I answered that, and no, I don't want the UK title as a mid-card title on NXT. I would like if they just came up with something completely new, maybe the American Dream title for the mid-card title. But yes, I do think guys like Almas and Gargano and when he comes back, Ciampa, Roderick Strong, guys like that, Velveteen Dream. Not everybody could be in the main event scene. They could really benefit from a mid-card title, but I don't think the UK title is going to be used in that type of role on NXT. The Crow 73. What do you think about Lucha Underground? I am from Austria and a great fan of you. The Crow, thank you so much, brother. Lucha Underground is fantastic. I loved season 3. I did not watch Ultimate Lucha 3 yet. I did not watch it. I have it all DVR'd. I got 4 hours of it on my DVR. And then Verizon took Verizon Fios took El Rey away from me, so now I have no El Rey at all. But Lucha Underground is great because it's a true alternative to what you guys are usually prone to watching every week. I love the fucking temple, man. The atmosphere, the energy, the look of the temple. I love the way Lucha Underground is filmed. I love Dario Cueto. He's fucking fantastic in that role. They got some of the best talent in the wrestling industry. Johnny Mundo is fucking fantastic. Killshot, Dante Fox, fucking out of this world. I love Matanza, Mil Muertes is fucking great. Brian Cage, great. They got a lot of great talent in Lucha Underground, man. I'm glad that they're coming back for season 4. I just got to find a way to watch season 4 when it does debut next year. Strong Style for Life on Twitter. What should be the right position on the card for Roman Reigns at WrestleMania? He shouldn't be on the card at all. That's my answer to that. Miguel Gonzalez. What's up, JD? My question is, since Wrestle Kingdom 12 is having Jericho versus Omega, do you think there's a possible chance that WWE can counter that with a Daniel Bryan in-ring return at WrestleMania 24? One has nothing to do with the other. Jericho is, according to sources, inside WWE sources, still under contract with WWE. McMahon gave him his blessing for the match. It's happening because McMahon allowed it. Now, one has nothing to do with the other. Jericho wrestling with Omega has nothing to do with Daniel Bryan coming back. Daniel Bryan's not coming back to the WWE because they're not going to risk the shareholders' feelings and they're not going to risk the publicly traded nature of the company, especially with the ongoing lawsuit with all these old-timers and ex-WWE superstars coming out saying that WWE has been an unsafe work environment, concussions left and right. They're not going to have Daniel Bryan wrestle. If Daniel Bryan's going to wrestle, it's going to be away from WWE when he gets clearance from everybody in the fucking United States, every doctor in the United States, and he's going to wrestle for Ring of Honor in New Japan. It's not going to be for WWE. Now, what's WWE's feelings when Daniel Bryan leaves? Pretty sure they're going to be upset, but it's not Daniel Bryan's fault. They won't clear him. How can every doctor say that this guy's good to go, but WWE won't allow it to happen? And I talked about this because of their political nature, and I do think that WWE forced Daniel Bryan. A small part of me, I'm going to mention this again, a small part of me feels that WWE took Daniel Bryan off of television because he was getting in the way of what they truly wanted to do with Roman Reigns. And I said it just a couple weeks ago. I honestly think Daniel Bryan coming back to wrestling next fall is going to bring CM Punk out of retirement. I think we're going to see Bryan versus Punk on the Indies. I honestly, I'm 100% just in feeling that we're going to see Bryan versus Punk on the Indies. I really do. That should have been the main event for WrestleMania 30. That should have been the main event. Not a triple threat match with Evolution. He should have never had to gone through fucking Triple H. Daniel Bryan versus CM Punk should have been the main event for WrestleMania 30. Simple as that. Let me see here. What is my favorite wrestling theme? Hooded Hawk on Twitter. The glorious Bobby Roode is my favorite wrestling theme right now. If I had to choose one all time, I don't know. I mean, I don't really listen to old school themes like that. If I had to choose one, it would be Shawn Michaels' old theme with Sensational Sherry singing it. I think that was the best theme back in the day for WWE, and easily my favorite of the two of Shawn Michaels' themes. But right now, my favorite theme is Bobby Roode. JD, who is the worser of the two champions, Mahal or Khali? I know I don't like Mahal. That one comes from PJ Hero. I know I don't like Mahal, but I clearly have to go with Khali on this. Khali, It's coincidental that Mahal and Khali are in the same category as being the worst WWE champions of all time. I definitely have to go with Khali on that one. The guy was absolutely fucking cancer to everybody's eyes. Cool Guy on Twitter. What's up, JD? When are you doing The Walking Dead Season 2? And do you think Brock versus AJ should be a draw so both men could look strong? Fan for 3 years. Walking Dead Season 2 will be happening soon. The only reason why I'm holding off on it is because apparently I think Telltale Games is releasing a whole bundle of every fucking season. It will probably be cheaper for me to buy the bundle than buy the games separately. So I'm waiting on that to see what that is going for price-wise and when it's going to be out. But I'll keep you guys updated on that. I'm definitely going to be doing it. I'm just waiting right now for that specific reason. Obviously, you guys know to follow me on Twitter for any notifications. JD from NY206. Do I think Brock versus AJ will be a draw? No. AJ will lose. I am predicting that Jinder Mahal, who is not a part of the Survivor Series, will cost AJ Styles, or Mahal and the Singh brothers will cost AJ Styles, being that he feels that he was robbed, because he's a heel for the WWE Championship match on Tuesday. I think Mahal is going to screw over AJ Styles, and it's going to cost him in the match with Brock Lesnar. But Lesnar is going to win. I know Brock and CM Punk had a fantastic match. I don't know what it was, 2013, at SummerSlam. I think it was 2013. If I got the year wrong, somebody correct me. But Brock and CM Punk is a small guy, and that match was fucking probably match of the year that year. There's no reason why Brock can't have a similar match with AJ Styles like that. I'm tired of Brock Lesnar fucking just winging it. 5-6 minute matches, nothing but suplexes. The guy can fucking wrestle. It's like he doesn't even give a shit. Why do you have a guy as Universal Champion, the main champion on your show, and he clearly doesn't give a shit? Have the guy go out there and work. Is he earning his paycheck? No. The match clearly is better than what we were going to get with Mahal, but I'm hoping that Brock and AJ give us something special. It is must-see. I'm hoping we just aren't disappointed like we were with Joe and Braun Strowman. This should be a very, very good match if Brock wants it. So I hope that happens. Chris, hashtag Team Yellow on Twitter. Who do you think will be the first cruiserweight to break out of the division and win a major title? Cedric Alexander, Rich Swann, TJP, or Jack Gallagher? Cedric Alexander of those four easily. I could easily see Cedric Alexander as a U.S. champion or a intercontinental champion. So that is, I've stated that for months. I think that 205 Live weight limit got to go. I don't want to see these guys just bubbled on 205 Live. You're killing careers that way. People will get bored easily. I'm telling you right now. Let me see here, man. A lot of these are repeats. Zachary Brown, what are your top 5 favorite mic talkers of all time? Mine are Cena, Heyman, Rock, Edge, and CM Punk. I would have to probably go with CM Punk. I'd probably have to go with Edge. I'd have to go with The Rock. I'd have to go with Stone Cold. And I'd probably have to go with Bobby the Brain Heenan. I love Paul Heyman, but I got to put the Brain in there, bro. Brain is ahead of everybody. Period. Let me see here. A lot of these are repeats, man. A lot of these are repeats. I don't know. Let me see here, man. Jalil Omar, 1998 on Twitter. JD, do you think WWE will ever have a big pay-per-view in England again, like WrestleMania or SummerSlam? I think so. It's just the fact that WWE doesn't do it because of the time constraints, and Vince McMahon doesn't want WrestleMania or SummerSlam starting at 2 p.m. with the 6-hour time difference that is overseas, So that's the only reason why they do it, or they don't do it, rather, but I'd love it. I think the fans deserve it over there, and the energy over there is unlike anything anywhere else, Especially if you put a WrestleMania or SummerSlam with those people now, with the way the landscape of wrestling is now, that would be fucking exciting. I wish that would happen. Alexis Middleton. JD, 2 quick questions. Who do you think WWE will have defeat Asuka, and who do you think personally should defeat Asuka. A, Asuka shouldn't be defeated, and B, nobody right now is on the roster capable of beating Asuka. So, if I was to book Asuka to be defeated, I would, like I said this already, I would have Asuka win the title from Alexa Bliss. I would have her run through everybody next year, 2018. I would have Asuka undefeated until 2019, where you put Kairi Sane and Asuka in the main event of WrestleMania 35. If you want the women, which has been talked about in nauseam, if you want a female main event for WrestleMania, or at least a co-main event, Asuka versus Kairi Sane at WrestleMania 35. Book it. That's the only female that I could see challenging Asuka for the Women's Championship. Asuka should not ever lose. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Things like this don't come around. WWE is going to fuck it up, then they truly don't care about their programming. Legend on Twitter. What's up, brother? Why do you think Vince McMahon and the main roster officials refuse to take notes from NXT? Clearly, every takeover event has been better than WWE pay-per-views to follow for that specific weekend. Could Vince really be that jealous or envious? Yes, you just answered your own question. Yes. Yes, I think that WWE is envious of what Triple H is doing. I think Kevin Dunn, Triple H, he doesn't like, Wood. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon do not like Kevin Dunn. If Triple H is to take over the company, Kevin Dunn knows his job is in jeopardy. He'll be no more. Kevin Dunn is Vince McMahon's proverbial right-hand man. He does everything. Strokes his cock, strokes his ego, gets him his coffee, shines his shoes, I'm sure. Vince McMahon gives him a hefty discount on some fucking, some forest snacks. But yes, they are jealous or envious. Why do you think when NXT talent comes to the main roster, why do you think Vince McMahon buries them? It's because, you think you can get one over on me? You think these guys are going to be money? You're booking these guys a certain way? You think these shows are going to be better? There you go. As soon as Vince McMahon gets his fucking claws in, I'm done. Oh, you want to see what success is? You can't be successful until I put my touch on you. Why do you think TakeOver War Games has been so hyped? Why do you think WWE is just drastically changing Survivor Series? They knew they were going to be outdone by TakeOver. Look at Survivor Series now. All of a sudden, 1 week it becomes a must-see show. NXT had a direct influence on that. You ain't going to prove to me otherwise. TakeOver every year, no matter what Survivor Series done, TakeOver's going to be better. Because everybody's going to be all eyes on War Games. But yes, WWE is jealous or envious. Why don't you think NXT accolades are never brought to WWE television? They have trouble telling you about Asuka in NXT. They should be hyping Asuka and her accolades in NXT every fucking week. Start treating it like a fucking entity on your programming. It's not a minor league, but this is your developmental system. Be proud of that. I know I would be if I'm Vince McMahon. I'm proud to see the progress of what's going on down there. It's just a simple fact that people in WWE they hate wrestling. They hate wrestling. They don't hate money, and that's all they care about, but they hate wrestling. Do you see War Games being an annual staple for NXT every Survivor Series weekend? Jeff Caramello. That's tough. If we see it again next year, then I would say yes. But right now, I'm taking this as a one-time thing. But if we do see it next year, I do think that we are going to be more prone to see it every year. Because it does make sense, Survivor Series is the perfect example of why War Games should be at Survivor Series. But WWE don't want Survivor Series. Apparently, Kevin Dunn says it would be too tough to film. They don't have venues big enough for 2 rings. Apparently, NXT is doing it. So whatever the fuck Kevin Dunn and Vince McMahon are claiming clearly is bullshit. They just didn't want to do it. Because it's not a WWE idea. Now, but they could give you a fucking Starrcade, though, right? But then again, that's not even appearing on television. Triple H loves the old school. It's a throwback homage to Dusty. That's why NXT is doing it, because they respect the fucking history and the old school. Vince, what I tell you before, with Legends comment or tweet, They hate wrestling. These people are nothing but soulless suits who hate wrestling. I'm going to do two more. I got a lot here. Let me see here, man. Nick Hunter. This is a non-wrestling related question. What is your favorite metal band of all time? Symphony X. No question. If you guys have watched me or known me or watched my streams, you would know that. Nixon. This will be the last one. What should WWE do with Jinder now? What I've been stating all this time. Apparently, I read a rumor that Bobby Roode is going to be announced. Actually, I didn't even go over that. Let me read this. We're going to do a news inside a social media segment. Let me get this news article pulled out. Apparently, Bobby Roode is going to be challenging Baron Corbin for the United States Championship. Baron Corbin is miscast right now. He's in a role that he should not be in. I don't think he's a U.S. champion caliber athlete right now. Apparently, AJ Styles versus Jinder Mahal will be the next title feud for SmackDown Live. That is probably going to happen at Clash of the Champions. No doubt in my mind it's going to happen. SmackDown Tag Team Champions are going to be the Usos versus Benjamin and Gable. United States Championship is going to be Bobby Roode versus Baron Corbin. Now, I would have Bobby Roode win the United States Championship, have a glorious United States Championship, and then I would have Bobby Roode feud with Jinder Mahal. I would have Jinder Mahal win the United States Championship from Bobby Roode, and I would have Jinder Mahal defend the United States Championship against John Cena at WrestleMania. That makes more sense because it goes and ties with his character. That's what we need. Now, Corbin is supposed to fight Sin Cara on Tuesday. I don't see him losing the title to Sin Cara because I don't see WWE doing Sin Cara versus The Miz at Survivor Series. But Bobby Roode versus Baron Corbin could be a way to get the title of Baron Corbin. Bobby Roode, they're going to book him strong. I could see him becoming the United States champion. But I would have Jinder Mahal as the United States champion. And I would book him as the evil foreigner who hates the American people and has taken the United States Championship hostage. Yes, it's been done. Yes, it's fucking a tired angle. But it makes sense. And actually, it might give me reason to like Mahal. Because the role that they put him in was absolutely god-awful. Simple as that. By the way, speculation on the Universal Championship and other title matches at Survivor Series or to follow Survivor Series. Sheamus and Cesaro will be battling Ambrose and Rollins continued. Alexa Bliss versus Asuka is the plan. Miz versus Braun Strowman or Samoa Joe. And then we're going to have Balor versus Brock Lesnar, as if anybody gives any chance to Finn Balor beating Brock Lesnar, right? Choke slams from Kane and just being destroyed by Kane 2 weeks in a row. Yeah, but we're supposed to believe that Balor can beat Brock Lesnar, right? Yeah, great job done. The Demon, we have to like Kane. He works on my teeth. Isaac Yankem worked on my teeth. I got to give him some rub, man. What? Anyway, that's off the script. Hope you guys enjoyed. I feel like shit, but I'm going to try and stream World War II. I should be live as this video goes live. If you guys need the link, it will be down in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Let's try and get 85,000 subscribers, man. I'm so close, and I'm feeling good about the way things are going right now. So thank you guys so much. I am JD. Follow me on Twitter at JDFROMNY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. And if you guys want to be a part of the Patreon team, patreon.com/JDFROMNY206. I will see you guys right back here for episode 196. We are 4 away from 200. Don't know what I'm doing yet. I might not even do anything, man. I just might conduct business as usual. But we'll see what happens on Off the Script next weekend, man. Should be Survivor Series preview and predictions, TakeOver preview and predictions. We got a lot of stuff coming up. It's going to be a big weekend, man. Big weekend. So hopefully I feel good and hopefully you are here with me for the ride. I'll talk to you later. I'll see you guys tonight for Monday Night Raw Review. Until then, I'm JD. Make it a great Monday, and I'll talk to you later.